Alright, I'm back with another Destiny 2 video, and this time I am following up on something that happened yesterday at Reset that I talked about the day before, which is the reprisal of 12 different destination weapons from the Moon and Dreaming City, which makes those expansions a little more relevant now that you can farm for rolls of those old weapons that have been sunset. I think Bungie did this in order to make sure that there's no kind of main sources of weaponry from these expansions that are not usable in the current state of the game, which leaves only a scarce handful of sunset weapons that can drop in the wild anymore. I think a couple vendors sell them, and they may have patched out the ones that dropped from Nightfalls, so there's really almost nothing left. I know a lot of people were excited about this, but what they did not expect was how bad most of the rolls are. When Bungie was previewing this, in the TWAB, I wrote about this, they showed off a new perk that was coming to each of these. So I thought what was going to happen was that they were just going to add this new perk to the old perk pool, and it would be one of the new perks that you could farm in addition to the old rolls. That is not what happened. Instead, Bungie went through all the old weapons and totally changed the perk pool. So they added multiple new perks to all of these, but what they also did is take away a lot of the best perks that these had in the first place. So they've created a system where there are very, very few actual great rolls on many of these, and they have deleted some of the best rolls of the ones that are sunset. So, for instance, I loved my Subsistence Rampage Arc Logic, and yet this game they have now taken away both Subsistence and Rampage. You can see some of these old perks here in terms of what got replaced here on Light.gg. It's kind of weird because there aren't two separate entries, I don't think, for sunset and non and reissued versions, so they kind of have both things here. But now you can see all of those perks have gone away, so the only real significant damage perk here is Frenzy. I hate Surrounded. Surrounded is terrible. And then they've added Adrenaline Junkie and Wellspring. They've added Wellspring to pretty much every gun in the game. Elemental Capacitor. This is just a clearly much worse version of Arc Logic, to the point where I'm not really excited to get another roll of this because I don't even know what the god roll is that I would want for this, and it's certainly not going to be better than the Subsistence Rampage one that I liked before. So I'm going to get Feeding Frenzy, I guess, Surplus Frenzy. I don't even know. And this is true on a ton of these. Tranquility is just massacred at this point. You're giving these things Osmosis and Elemental Capacitor and Thresh and Eye of the Storm, and Underdog. You have put probably Adrenaline Junkie. You couldn't put that in here too. It's another worse perk. I don't know, maybe Tunnel Vision could be okay for this, but this is a gun that used to have auto-loading holster, firing line, snapshot, a ton of different things that were a lot more useful than this, and they have stripped all of these out. All of these top picks for previously here, no distractions, firing line, auto-loading, snapshot, field prep, all of those are gone. And so we have this terrible pool of perks here. One small step, the shotgun was never amazing, and yet again we have things like Osmosis that are here now. They have deleted 1-2 punch, they have deleted quick draw, somehow they've deleted grave robber even. So now we have things like dual loader and fled from gold, and again Osmosis, unrelenting, Thresh. Very, very bad rolls here now. Loud Lullaby. The Lullaby may have gotten off a little better than some of these. Tunnel Vision on hand cannons is pretty good. I could see heating up being cool for this. Frenzy, Eye of the Storm for dueling, Kill Clip, okay. Again, they put Osmosis on everything and Wellspring on everything. So I don't think this is exactly what people wanted to see. This used to have Outlaw, this used to have Rampage, this used to have Explosive Payload. Used to have multi-kill clip, and all of those are gone. It's crazy. All right, let's keep going. Every waking moment, the SMG. Okay. This one, they deleted Outlaw, of course, because Outlaw is now illegal. They deleted kill clip. They deleted Zen Moments, they deleted Swashbuckler, they deleted Subsistence, even though Subsistence is actually pretty good on SMGs now. They deleted Demolitionist. I had a really good Demolitionist role in this way back when, and it's gone. So now I guess, I don't know, Killing Winds, Dragonfly, I guess. They have multi-kill clip, they don't even have Feeding Frenzy, Heating Up, again, Adrenaline Junkie, and Wellspring, and Elemental Capacitor. Ugh, God, okay. What does Stasis do for this now? Recoil, okay. Again, worse than before. Dreambreaker. Dreambreaker may have improved just because it got cornered, but Dreambreaker is kind of a bad fusion rifle in general. I would take like a, I don't know, Under Pressure Frenzy roll just to see how that worked, or Under Pressure cornered. But I don't think this is going to compete with most of the fusions just because of the base problems with Dreambreaker. Love and Death. Grenade launchers aren't in the best of spots right now, but at least it kept autoloading. At least it kept Clown Cartridge. I think it had that before. And then it got Chain Reaction for mob clearing. One for All on this could be interesting, but what did they delete? Oh, they deleted Full Court. Yeah, so again, another very key perk for a grenade launcher. I think I had a Clown Cartridge Full Court on this before, or autoloading Full Court, one of those. At least they didn't delete spike grenades. Fine Memorial. I never really liked this machine gun. I am kind of curious about maybe a Subsistence Frenzy roll on this, but machine guns or Subsistence One for All. But machine guns are probably still not going to be good until they get the buff. Autoloading One for All, things like that. Those could be okay. And then Night Terror, the sword. We have Vorpal, which is always good on swords, so Relentless Vorpal could be okay. I don't know if it's going to be better than any of the class swords, because all the other swords kind of blend together. One for All is like the new thing they put on swords, but I don't know how valuable that's going to be for most people. It works on Quick Fang because you're always running around really fast with Quick Fang, but I don't love it. Besides that, I still don't like Surrounded on swords. Unrelenting on a sword, sure, man, I guess. And then we move to the 3 Dreaming City weapons that got reissued. And these are, okay. I mean, you see pretty much the similar thing here. So, okay, at least Tiger Spite has Subsistence now, which I don't even think Subsistence existed when Tiger Spite first came out. Before I had, they were like Outlaw Rampage, Outlaw Kill Clip rolls of this. This is kind of back in the era where Outlaw, those two were pretty much the thing. So I would take a Subsistence Frenzy on this. Subsistence Swashbuckler would also be good. Overflow Demolitionist, Surplus. These are like this. There's some pretty good Tiger Spite rolls still, even if they did delete a good number of perks there, because they've added so many since Dreaming City that it did get at least some benefit there. Twilight Oath, they added Vorpal like they said, so we're not exactly in a PvE sniper meta, so I guess you can snipe people out of supers. It still does have Snapshot, so that's good. A sniper without Snapshot these days is pretty rough, but like all these other perks, Shield Disorient, Elemental Capacitor, Unrelenting, Thresh, and like Killing Wind on a sniper. Surplus, okay. Surplus Snapshot, I could see being like the good PvP combo for this, or maybe No Distraction. What is this, Mulligan? Okay. But generally speaking, like unless you just really like Twilight Oath in particular, I think there are probably going to be better sniper options. By the Return, the sword. Okay. Okay. Well, that's that. Nothing interesting there. And that is certainly not going to be a top tier sword pick, even though it is the sword of choice of Aldrin Self. The point being, it's just kind of a bummer to see these weapons reissued and have maybe like 2 or 3 of them have like true amazing, god roll potential now, where like all the other ones are mostly pretty terrible. Farming these is still not like the greatest thing, especially the Dreaming City ones, because there's no way to target farm anything from the Dreaming City. You can at least target farm the Moon ones, but the Moon ones are kind of worse than most of the other ones. I don't even think the other reissued ones that they added are very good either. It's just a bummer because they brought 12 back this time, and that just, I was really expecting more than like 1 or 2 good options out of all of this. I pre-completed some Moon bounties just ahead of this to see if I get any good rolls, and I forgot to turn those in. So I will check out what I got later, but I am not really expecting a whole lot, given that it is almost impossible to get good rolls on a lot of these. So I know these weren't like the most coveted weapons that people wanted to see return, but like this kind of gets me worried about future. Sorry, this ad playing in the corner. I just noticed that. Maybe I'll zoom in so you can't see it. Like this gets me worried for other potential reissued weapons. So like, you know, I've been asking for bygones to come back forever. But the role I had was Outlaw Kill Clip. And this says to me that when Bygones comes back, it is probably not going to have Outlaw Kill Clip because these deleted every single instance of Outlaw and Kill Clip. Same goes for like Black Armory weapons or Dreaming City, or not Dreaming City, the Sundial weapons, things like that. So I'm worried that like even if quote unquote beloved weapons are going to be reissued, they're going to like just jam them full of a lot of useful perks while deleting a lot of the perks that people liked about them in the first place. And I know they probably have their reasons for that, and they wanted to get rid of the whole like Outlaw Rampage, you know, meta for a while, but I feel like there are enough perks to compete with those where they don't need to do this. And I am a little bummed that this is the path we're taking, and it does get me concerned for future reissues. Sometimes this has worked out and the reissues have been good. I don't know what happened with this batch of weapons, but they are pretty subpar, and I'm hoping that, you know, they receive this feedback and not kind of butcher weapons they bring back in the future, because I don't want to keep seeing this and making videos like this where I get to talk about how Breachlight has been destroyed and sucks now when it comes back in 2 seasons or whatever. So we'll see what happens, but there are probably going to be very few of these that are worth farming. Dreaming City weapons, you can't really farm at all. You just got to get lucky. And that's where we are. So the blessings and curses of sunsetting. Sunsetting lives on in the sense that it killed all your god rolls and replaced them with worse rolls to farm for the most part. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I did not love this. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.